Hello, I'm Cheryl Meyer, and I'm Cherylmhealthmuse. And today is December the 4th, and I'm here to give you your fourth holiday stress buster. And this one is to not eat the wrong foods or to eat too much. Seems logical, right? So how do you do that? So I want you to plan out your holiday eating now. Number one, you need to cook. You always need to cook. The more you cook your own food, the more you control what goes into your mouth. So start to cook as much as possible. Doesn't have to be complicated. I can put dinner on the table in 30 minutes, but it's all real food. And that's the critical part. So with a little bit of planning, even in the holiday season, you can stay true to healthy eating guidelines. So first, let's learn to take recipes and clean them up and make them as healthy as possible. So how can you do that? As an example, use almond flour instead of gluten wheat flour. And that way you're also not getting all of the chemicals that are in the wheat flour. I used to think I had a gluten problem. Ends up I don't have a gluten problem. I have a glyphosate problem. So unless it's organic wheat flour, I don't use it. And the other thing they put in wheat flour are all those enhanced vitamins and things, all of which are synthetic and not good for you. So start to cook. Use almond flour. I make yummy treats using almond flour. And instead of white sugar, I use maple syrup, or I use honey, or I use coconut sugar. Coconut sugar to white sugar is a 1-to-1 exchange. So just by doing that, you are getting yourself a sugar that has nutrients in it, instead of the white sugar that just is creating havoc in your gut and havoc on your brain. And it's still sugar, 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 but at least at holiday time, you're going to treat yourself with some not everyday treats. You're going to make yourself some yummy things, but make them with healthier ingredients. Other things you can do, trade ghee for butter or buy organic butter. That's important because there's hormones and antibiotics and RHBDG in the milk, which goes into the regular butter. You don't want any of those things. So ghee is organic. It's from grass-fed cows, and it takes out the milk solids, which are the casein and the whey, which I happen to be sensitive to. So I use ghee for all of that stuff, but you could also use organic butter. So that's a way to clean things up. And I told you can use maple syrup or honey, and I cut it in half. I don't need that much sweet anymore. I don't eat that much sweet. So when I see the sugar amount in a recipe, I don't use the entire amount. I don't need it. What else can you do? You can make mashed cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes. The very first person I coached told me her husband would never give up his mashed potatoes, and she was using chemical potatoes, the conventional ones that have all kinds of toxins on them, and I really wanted to wean her off of those. So I told her either she needed to use organic potatoes to make her mashed potatoes, or she needed to make mashed cauliflower. So she decided to give it a try. Her husband thought they were the best tasting mashed potato he had ever eaten. So you can do it. Instead of white rice, use brown rice. It's an easy exchange, but it gives you some more nutrients in that brown rice. Or make cauliflower rice. I do that a lot. I have made cauliflower rice as Greek, as Italian, as Moroccan, with some raisins and some cinnamon and some cumin. Yum. I have even made it with saffron, like paella, and it was really delicious. So make cauliflower rice instead of white rice. That cleans up the carbohydrate altogether. And then you want to only eat sustainable meat, which is grass-fed pastured meats. And you go, they're too expensive, but you're not going to eat as much meat. You're going to cut your meat down to the size of a deck of cards on your plate, because the rest of your plate is going to be healthy vegetables. So that's the way you should be eating all the time, but especially it's important at holiday time when we tend to overeat whatever food we have. Now, if you're going to somebody's house for dinner, these are my tips. I eat before I go. That way I'm not famished when I get there. So I'm not eating all the things that I know I shouldn't be eating when I'm there, which for me is critical since I have all kinds of sensitivities and autoimmune disease, but you can use this rule too. I always take a dish that I can eat, but I take enough so that everybody can share. That way I know I have something to eat at the party, and that way I know I'm going to be eating the things that I should be eating, and that takes care of that. And I tell the hostess up front, don't feel bad if I'm not going to eat your food because my body can't handle it. So that takes care of that. I have bought all of my family members my favorite paleo cookbooks, and they want to make me happy and they want to see me stay healthy. So they cook from my paleo cookbooks when I'm going to their house for dinner. So that takes care of that. That's fantastic. Before you eat out at a restaurant, having that healthy snack is a biggie. And then if I'm going to eat out at a restaurant, I always find a restaurant that I think I can eat at, and I call ahead and I negotiate with them, what can they feed me? I also have done a business card with all 18 of my food sensitivities on it, and it has my picture on it. So when I get to the restaurant, I've already talked to the chef, and I hand the waiter my card with all my food sensitivities on it, and I say, go to the kitchen and talk to your chef. He'll know who I am, and then find out what you can feed me and come back and talk to me. My picture's on the card so that he remembers who gave him that card, because he's talking to so many people. They come out and they go, who was the crazy lady that gave me this? So that way my picture's on it, they can find me, and then I can eat in the restaurant. A couple of tricks. If they tell you they have olive oil, ask to see the bottle, because usually it's 80% canola oil, which is genetically modified, which means it has Bt toxin in it, which I don't want in my body. It kills all the gut bacteria in my gut. So I look at the bottle. If it's not really olive oil, then I won't use it. And I recommend that you not use it either. And if I know the restaurant doesn't have real olive oil, I have a little bottle, I take my own. So that way I get to have my salads and it's not a problem. If you plan ahead, you can get all over all of these barriers to make sure that you're still eating healthy. So remember, the holidays are not about food. That was a biggie for me to get through my noggin. Holidays are not about food. Holidays are about community and the love that you share with the people that you enjoy. It doesn't mean you have to be eating all kinds of bad things for yourself. You need to go and enjoy all the people that you're with. I take water in my stainless steel water bottles with me, so I always have filtered water to drink. And then I make my own dips. I make my own crackers. If you want to find some really clean holiday recipes, I have several blogs from last year where I give you my cracker recipes and I give you my cashew cheese recipes. And I tell you what kinds of dips I make, all of which are healthy. And I tell you even what I made for Thanksgiving dinner and what I'm making for Christmas, so that you can come up with all kinds of great things that are loaded with vegetables and that are organic, because that's what I eat. I don't want the toxins. And you can eat like a king and take care of it by planning ahead and making some of your own food. I also have recently found a phenomenal cheese company called Mayoko's that is making vegan cheeses. And I got to tell you, their cheese wheels are to die for. I can't have dairy. I'm sensitive to it. But these Mayoko, I'll put the link underneath. They have a sun-dried tomato cheese wheel. They have a cheddar cheese wheel. They have no dairy in them at all, but they are really, really yummy. And we had honey baked ham for Thanksgiving. I made a organic potato and ham casserole using the cheddar, and I made a white sauce out of cauliflower and cashew nuts. And I got to tell you, it was pretty darn yummy. So think ahead, be inventive. Use clean ingredients that will make your body sing. And then when you sing, it also makes you happy because your gut is happy. You know, depression starts in the gut. So feed your gut all good things, and you will have a very happy and jolly holiday season. Come back tomorrow to learn about what my Stress Buster tip number 5 is for the holiday season. I want you to have the best, most enjoyable holiday season ever. Thank you so much. I'm a health coach. How can I help you? Thank you.